Mic check 1 2. We recording? I must say, even with everything coming out ahead of this doc series, I was blown away by the information and testimonies included in it. I cannot tell you how many times I had to pause it just to absorb what I was hearing. Some people in this world truly believe the universe revolves around them, and they have no ability to expand that viewpoint. I am a person that came up loving music, and hip-hop was something I was obsessed with. I wanted to have as many CDs of rap as possible, even if I didn't know the artist. What's a CD, you might ask? This. Now, I had something like 200 hip-hop CDs at one point, along with about like 70 rock albums. I'm sure plenty of people had more, but did you have every No Limit album ever, along with bands like Chimera, Ozzy, and Cradle of Filth on the side? Probably not. Unfortunately, some piece of shit crackhead broke into my 1996 Cutlass Supreme and stole my 300 disc book. I banged those CDs religiously. It took me years to amass that collection, so long in fact that when it was stolen, I still had the No Way Out album. What's the No Way Out album, you ask? It was this solid ass effort from none other than Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever. For context, this was in the 2000s that this happened. The aughts, if you prefer, that the CDs were stolen, I mean. This fucking album was almost a masterpiece and master class in the sound of East Coast hip-hop at the time. Bad Boy Records put together a collection of songs that couldn't be denied. It had the likes of Twista and, of course, Biggie on it. One of my favorite things about it was the Mad Rapper and the Mad Producer skit. That hilarity continued on to the Mace album. The Mace skit isn't as good as the No Way Out skit, but I digress. This album captured my imagination along with the persona of Diddy. I admired what he put together. I thought Puff Daddy or Diddy was the type of success to strive for. Dress nice, without sagging jeans, being smooth and champagne and whatnot. You don't have to be a gangster to be successful in hip-hop. Can't even say without laughing. You, too, can put a hot tub in the back of your limo and have mermaids swimming in your living room and shit. But apparently that level of glitz and glamour comes with a cost. The cost of being extremely selfish and power hungry. From what I can tell, it turned out Diddy was more gangster than anyone else in the industry at the time, guided by a completely backward moral compass. This guy was allegedly doing things that I can't even stomach to say out loud, and so many people apparently just rode with it. Some still are. You know, now I really feel like people of the same ilk as Sean Combs destroyed the industry before it could even get going. What seemed like hip-hop blowing up in ways unfathomable was just some money-hungry dudes using it as a tool to get fame, money, and women. In the process, they gaslit us into thinking they were important figures to head the way for us, and most of the time they end up being sniveling little roaches that run around screaming, "What about me?" after they get caught ruining so many lives. I understand strange allegations here and there. The wild ride we had with Marilyn Manson, for example, or Enzo Amore, the wrestler, and so on. I always wait to see evidence provided and what goes down in courts. I decide from there from my own opinions. But over 100 separate lawsuits alleging this kind of abuse, having so many different sources, state different things that paint one big, very ugly picture, along with video of insane assault on a woman. It's just overwhelming. Both men and women have been brave enough to embarrass themselves in an attempt to get some kind of mental relief while hopefully assisting in bringing a demon down. Diddy tried to make brokenness a new saying for his defense, y'all. But man, I can't imagine this many people, broke or not, of both genders and of all ages and of various ages, some in their late 50s, coming out with these kinds of details just for fucking money. Some of this stuff isn't even appropriate for a rated R movie in 1995. Personally, I don't believe that many people can get together, be so creative in telling a made-up story. $200 million and 9 writers can't write a good story. How can over 100 people come together and make something like this up? This detailed and dark, the breadcrumbs, so to speak. It's worse than any fantasy horror movie I've seen. And horror is one of my jams, as you all know. Diddy was never my hero. But coming up, I did think he was someone that was going to do big and good things. Certainly did big and good on the surface, as a shield, a mask, allegedly, in my opinion. I can't even listen to No Way Out anymore. I can't hear Diddy's voice on Biggie's tracks, you know? Ad-libbing about calling friends and being friends. Fuck, I can't even listen to the remix of Victory. And I swear Lloyd Banks laid a classic verse on that shit that could compete with any verse dropped that year. Bro said some shit about television remote looking like he was playing a Game Boy. I mean, it was heat. The amount of lives Diddy affected is the most troubling part of this. Defenders, or in other words, moronic idiots, will say everyone was willing, but it simply isn't true. It isn't true for Cassie. It isn't true for anyone else that got a lifetime of trauma and completely fucked up treatment for over a decade, bro. Like I said, I thought the dude was a good look. Diddy offered something too good to be true even for himself, and it's so fucking sad, man. Truly heartbreaking. He was arrested, and they were still finding crazy shit in the hotel he was staying in. The guy lost all control. He was completely out of control. It's a level of psychosis I hope to never encounter up close, and from everything I have seen and read, he had absolutely no handle on anything, man. What we've seen on the outside is a shell of a used-up puer, a man-child, a spoiled brat, truly. He never knew anything else, seemingly. I don't care how many churches are attended or crosses worn, how many apologies are handed out, man. Diddy is a demon. I strongly believe Diddy isn't a victim. His childhood does have some question marks around it, but he was platformed and given an opportunity to turn that around. On top of that, he was aware of it countless times. Countless points of awareness and realization. Did he ever stop? I mean, I guess he told us he wasn't going to the entire time.
We're leaving.